My name is Alex Rivera, and until last month, I loved my quiet cul-de-sac in Willow Creek Estates. The houses are modest, the lawns are green, and the HOA, well, the HOA is run by Karen Whitmore. Everyone just calls her HOA Karen. 50-something. Bleached blonde bob, perpetual visor, and a clipboard that might as well be surgically attached to her hand. The trouble started the day she rolled in with a 45-foot triple-axle luxury RV, the size of a city bus, matte black with gold accents, Whitmore Adventures stenciled on the side in cursive bigger than my front door. She parked it directly in front of my house, halfway onto the curb, blocking my driveway and half the street. I walked over, polite as possible. "Hey, Karen, any chance you could move the rig? I can't get my car out." She didn't even look up from her phone. "Street parking is first come, first served, Alex. Rules are rules." "Actually," I said, pulling up the HOA bylaws on my phone. Section 14C, no vehicle longer than 22 feet may be parked on any street overnight, and never in a manner that impedes resident access. She finally glanced at me, lips pursed like she'd tasted spoiled milk. "Are you seriously citing bylaws at me?" "I wrote half of those bylaws." "Then you know this violates them." Her eyes narrowed. "It's temporary. 2 weeks tops." It wasn't temporary. 2 weeks became 4. Then she started running ashore. Power cord across my front yard and dumping gray water into the storm drain. Neighbors whispered, but nobody wanted to be next on her list. I sent certified letters. She sent passive-aggressive flyers about unkempt trash cans taped to my door. Classic Karen. Then one Friday I came home to find bright orange tow stickers on my own car because the RV blocked the street sweeper. That was the last straw. I marched over, knocked on the RV door. She answered in a silk robe and wine glass, already half empty at 4 p.m. "Karen, move it by tomorrow or I'm calling the tow company myself." She laughed. Actually laughed. "Try it, sweetheart. I dare you." I shouldn't have said it, but I did. "No parking here, Karen. Ever." I turned and walked away. Behind me, I heard the wine glass shatter against the inside of the RV wall. That night, the street was eerily quiet. The beast was still there, looming like a black whale. I had no idea what was coming. Saturday morning, 6:47 a.m. I woke to the sound of a diesel engine idling like a dragon outside my window. Karen was in the driver's seat of the RV, visor on, both hands gripping the wheel, staring straight at my house. She revved it once, hard. The whole block rattled. I threw on clothes and stepped onto the porch. "Karen, what the hell are you doing?" She rolled the window down just enough to scream, "You said no parking here, Alex, so I'm moving it!" Before I could process, she slammed the RV into gear. Tires spun, smoke poured from the stacks, and the 45-foot monster lurched forward, straight toward my driveway, straight toward my garage. I sprinted down the steps yelling, "Stop!" But she floored it. The front cap of the RV clipped my mailbox, sent it flying like a missile. Neighbors poured out in robes and slippers, phones already recording. She wasn't aiming for the street. She was aiming for my house. Time slowed. I saw her face through the windshield. Red, teeth bared, eyes wild with something beyond anger. This wasn't about parking anymore. This was personal. The RV jumped the curb, shredded my front lawn, and plowed into the corner of my garage. Brick exploded. The whole house shook like a bomb went off. I dove sideways as the side mirror whipped past my head and shattered against the siding. Then silence, except for the hiss of a ruptured radiator and Karen's heavy breathing. Over the open window, she leaned out, hair now a bird's nest, mascara streaking. "There, it's not parked on the street anymore, is it?" My garage door hung crooked, half the wall caved in, and the RV was wedged nose first into what used to be my home, steam billowing like it had won a war. Sirens already wailed in the distance. Someone had called 911 the second the engine roared. Half the neighborhood stood frozen, mouths open. Mrs. Chen next door dropped her coffee mug. It shattered on her driveway like a gunshot. Karen killed the engine, stepped down from the cab like a conquering queen, and brushed dust off her yoga pants. "Oops," she said, loud enough for every phone to catch it. "Guess I'm not the best driver when I'm upset." Then she smiled, the same fake HOA smile she used at meetings, and waited for the police. The first cop car slid to a stop at 7:02 a.m. 2 more followed. Then the fire truck, Then Channel 9 News because someone live-streamed the whole thing and it was already trending as Naberger RV Karen. Karen stood on my ruined lawn, arms crossed, perfectly calm now, like she was waiting for Starbucks. An officer approached her. "Ma'am, step away from the vehicle." "It's not a vehicle anymore," she answered sweetly. "It's a permanent improvement to the property value." I was shaking with adrenaline and rage. My garage looked like a bomb crater, bricks scattered across what used to be my azaleas. The RV's front end was buried 6 feet into my house. The awning had ripped off and was draped over my roof like a surrender flag. They cuffed her right there. She didn't fight. She turned to the cameras and said, "This is what happens when entitled millennials weaponize HOA rules against hardworking Americans." The officer reading her rights actually paused. "Ma'am, you just committed felony criminal damage. And I'll do it again if someone tells me where I can't park." She shrieked as they put her in the cruiser. My insurance agent called before the tow truck even arrived. "Alex, tell me this is a prank." "It's not." He sighed so hard I felt it through the phone. "You're gonna need a public adjuster, and a lawyer, and maybe a priest." By noon, the street was a zoo. News vans, rubberneckers, TikTok kids doing dances in front of the wreckage. Someone started selling "I Survived RV Karen" t-shirts out of a pickup. They sold out in 20 minutes. The HOA emergency board meeting was scheduled for 6 p.m. via Zoom. Logged in, still covered in brick dust. Every neighbor was there, wide-eyed. Vice President Linda cleared her throat. "In light of recent events, Karen Whitmore has been removed as president effective immediately." A cheer went up in the chat. Someone posted the dancing, crying, laughing emoji storm. Then the bombshell. Karen had already lawyered up from jail. Her attorney sent a letter claiming the RV was now a permanent fixture and that removing it would violate her property rights. She wanted the HOA to pay for structural repairs to both the house and the RV. I muted myself and screamed into a pillow. Outside, the heavy-duty tow rig finally arrived. 6 guys with winches stared at the RV like it was a beached whale. One of them looked at me and said, "Buddy, your house is the only thing keeping this thing upright right now." 3 weeks later, the RV was still there. Engineers declared my house structurally compromised. The entire front corner had to be rebuilt. Insurance called it the most viral claim in company history. My adjuster sent me a bottle of bourbon with a note. "You'll need this." Karen made bail the same day she was arrested. Some cousin posted the $50K, like it was lunch money. She showed up at my temporary rental in a new visor, holding a manila folder and a Starbucks cup the size of her head. "I'm here to apologize," she said, zero emotion in her voice. "I didn't open the door wider than the chain." "Great. Do it on camera for the judge." She rolled her eyes. "Look, Alex, we got off on the wrong foot." I overreacted. "I'm willing to drop my countersuit if you sign this." She slid a paper through the gap. A mutual non-disclosure and a release absolving her of all liability. I laughed so hard the neighbors probably heard. "You rammed a 45-foot battering ram into my house and you want me to sign an NDA?" Her mask slipped. "You have no idea who you're dealing with." "Actually, I do now." I held up my phone. The live stream was already running. "Say hi to 1.2 million viewers, Karen." Her face went purple. She lunged for the phone. I slammed the door. She pounded on it exactly 3 times before the Ring camera caught her screaming, "This isn't over!" It was over. The criminal trial lasted 4 days. The prosecution played 37 different neighbor videos in 4K. Karen took the stand and claimed she'd been momentarily blinded by the sun reflecting off Alex's illegally tinted windows. The jury laughed out loud. Guilty on all counts, felony criminal damage, reckless endangerment, and my personal favorite, operating a motorhome while being a Karen. Sentencing day, the judge, a woman who clearly had her own HOA horror stories, gave Karen 18 months in county, 5 years probation, and restitution in the amount of $487,000. Karen sobbed theatrically until the judge added, "And the defendant is banned for life from owning any vehicle longer than a Mini Cooper." Last I heard, she's living in a studio apartment above a vape shop, forced to ride the city bus with the rest of us peasants. My house is rebuilt, stronger footings, brick 2 shades darker, and a tasteful plaque by the new garage that reads, "No parking here, ever. We mean it this time."